Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott MacKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, welcome to Industrial Talk. Thank you very much for joining the #1 industrial-related podcast in the universe that celebrates industry professionals all around the world. That's you. I'm pointing at you at the camera. You are bold, you are brave, you dare greatly, you innovate, you collaborate, you solve problems, and how can you not be saving the world? That's how, you're just a hero. That's what I look at. And we are broadcasting on site, OMG, Q1 meeting here in Reston, Virginia, and you might hear some noise in the background, dragging the furniture, somebody on a mic. Disregard that. That's not where the conversation's leading, but we're just on the floor. And we have two professionals, two incredible individuals, two people that you need to connect with. Claudio and Carlos. NTT is the company, and we're going to be talking about big things because that's what they are all about, big things. All right, let's get cracking. Don't let me down now that I've set you guys up as big things and incredible. Don't let me down. Okay?
No, we will.
Because you know how it is. I have a reputation to uphold. Whatever that is. Big time. You guys having a good meeting?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. Lots of stuff and new things going on. I'm very happy to be here, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually a very good event. I believe...
you weren't here last year. Were you here last year?
Yeah, but this time around,
the
whole OMG consortium is meeting together in the same place. So it brings a different angle, you know. So I think it's a great opportunity because it's not only about digital twins, it's IoT and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
I gotta tell you, I'm glad that you guys made. I really believe, and it's not blowing smoke up your skirt or anything like that. It's just a simple fact that I think what you do is very important, very needed, and the ability to. We have a fan. It's very important because we need to have trusted solutions, trusted standards, especially now as things just continue to just fly by, and it's an amazing time. All right. Before we get into that, Claudio, for the listeners, give us a little background on who you are all the way from Chile.
Well, I am the head of digital technology unit in Entity Data Chile. Mm-hmm. We are conformed by 4 foundations: data and analytics, that is the foundation that Carlos led.
Yeah.
Digital architecture, cybersecurity, and digital experience. So we are a very high specialized team that works with different companies in several industrial sectors. So we are responsible for design and implement technologies in our clients. So digital twins is one of the value offer that we are improving and get some maturity levels. So this year is very special for us to stay here because 1 year ago we start to get mature that practice and get improved that practice with the incorporation of Carlos. So we are very happy to be here.
So is Carlos important?
I would say so anyway. Yeah.
Carlos, give us a little background.
Well, thank you, Scott, for having me back. Yeah. Well,
it's my pleasure.
Yeah. Well, I'm Carlos, and actually, currently I'm heading the data and analytics unit in Entity Data Chile, but I also have another hat. I'm actually supporting LATAM region, so that's different operations that we have in different countries: Colombia, Brazil, Peru, even US, Mexico, and Chile, of course. Yeah. In terms of development and implementation of digital twins. And this is very interesting because it's a new value offer for the company. It's not that we haven't done that before. Of course, a company like ours is doing all sorts of different technology implementations, But this way, the approach that we are bringing in is new. And this is helping us to reach our customers on a faster speed with better products, better solutions, thanks to composability and modularity that we are implementing.
For the listeners, just so they understand, NTT Data, Claudio, just explain a little bit about the company itself.
Well, the company has born, it's part of the NTT group, Japanese group. It started as a telecommunication group. Okay? In Japan, it's the number one telecommunications company. So they create the consultancy company. Okay, that is NTT Data. So we help our clients to define strategies, implement digital transformation processes end to end, since the business definition processes until the implementation of technologies with development, automatization, etc. So we can help our clients from the start in greenfield modality, but we have a lot of clients that has brownfield realities. So
there's a lot of brownfield.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I would
the most.
Yeah, I was just going to say, absolutely. How, Carlos, take us through just in general the digital twin. Have you seen? I mean, there's hype, and then there's reality, and then the internet's saying digital twin's the way to go. Whatever it's saying. Are you seeing greater interest because of the value? What's driving digital twin?
Well, I think it's driving my needs, right? User needs. And this is very important because when we start doing digital twins, we realize two things. The first is when you approach a digital twin project, sometimes you have to start from scratch, right? There's little to none, or to nothing, things that you can reuse, right? So as a consultancy company, it is important for us to be able to develop very quick solutions, but very powerful solutions that will start adding value to our customers, right? So we needed to develop a methodology, an approach to build digital twins in a composable manner, right? Because you will sell, for instance, a POC. That POC will prove a certain concept. But then to push it into industrialization, it takes a lot. So we were thinking what we can do in order to solve this issue. There is a lot of different approaches in the market, a lot of solutions, a lot of software vendors that they say, well, we have digital twins, we don't, blah, blah, blah. Even solutions that look like a digital twin, but they are only visualization situations, visualization for software, right? So we started by thinking, okay, it's all about data, right? And if you think about that, it's in our name, Entity Data, right? We are a people-based company, of course. For us, the most important thing is the people, but we are based on data. So for us, having good approach towards data management, data storage, and the use of data through machine learning is important. So it makes the perfect environment for a digital twin. But then you have the added problem that the company works in different scenarios for different countries where have different industries. If you go, for instance, to Spain, manufacturing, automotive is very impactful, right? But if you do this approach in LATAM, in Chile, is mining.
Yeah.
So what can you do to develop something that will be valid for both or even more scenarios where our customers will require solutions? So I have to say, digital twin is not a hype. It's here to stay. It is something that is real. It's something that is useful for our customers and for the people in general terms. And all you need is to think what to do in order to make them available as quick as possible, as fast as possible.
Yeah, don't make me work too hard. And again, I will put on my manufacturing hat. I'm a manufacturer. I've got obligations and I'm manufacturing. I don't have speaking of bandwidth, in my head to start to take in all of this new innovative solutions. I need help. Why is, Claudio, why should I need digital twin for my manufacturing process? What can I do with that?
Well, I can tell you the Chilean experience. And
Please, I love that.
Yeah, we have a lot of mining processes that needs some technology practice implementation, and I think in Chile we have a very high depth in that terms, because the most important copper company in Chile is from the States. So it's a little difficult to implement new technologies in that company. So we have a lot of manual processes at this time.
Manual, yeah.
A lot of, and we don't have policies that that force to that companies to get some efficiency in operations and avoid accidents and all the processes. So we have a very good depth, a very high depth in that, and we have to use that depth to implement digital twins. So the digital twins comes to help to companies to get more efficiency, to reduce friction in the processes, to reduce work accidents, etc. So I think the digital twin comes with a lot of benefits that all the industrial areas can use to different.
See, Claudio, you bring up an interesting point, and the point is, one, you have existing companies. They're not known for being nimble and wanting to change rapidly. So especially in the world of mining, we do it this way. We're comfortable with this way. We understand this way, whatever this way is. And now you're breaking into some real mature business that's been doing it a certain way for so many years.
Yes.
But there is a better way. There is the ability to leverage the data to be able to create the insights necessary to make you even more efficient, which is bottom line value.
That's the point. I think that's a cultural problem. I think that it's the mindset that Chilean industrial mining has. So we are working very strong way to introduce some POCs, MVPs in mining industry. So it's more easy to us. It's easier to us to get that POCs and MVPs in private companies than in public.
That makes sense. Carlos, part of my notes here, it's piquing my interest outside of the digital twin and the value of the digital twin, digital transformation, all of that good stuff. Get it. What is microfactory?
Well, it's a very good one. Actually, when we started doing this approach towards digital twins, the first thing that we realized is that how we train our people to actually create digital twins. So think about this. We have an environment with highly certified people in all sorts of technologies, right? Microsoft Azure, AWS, Google, GTP, whatever you want, right? And then people that knows about visualization, people that knows about certain processes, even people that comes from the perspective of machine learning, but very driven towards businesses like mining, for instance. But you don't have a kind of like a profile for a digital twin specialist, right? You can find people that is going to do cloud engineering, data scientists, but there's not such a thing as a digital twin specialist. No. So we
still new.
Yes, still new. Yeah. So we had to create first the training paths for those people. So we realized, okay, in order to do a digital twin, you need certain aspects. So at least in your team, you will have those aspects covered, those technologies that are going to be typically, and we are very much technology agnostic. We can do whatever technology, you name it, right? But we needed to have that. But then once we had those people trained, we realized another big problem that came into the picture was You will go to a customer, you will show them a digital twin, but you can show only partially what you did because probably that digital twin was made for a company that has IP concerns or something like that. You cannot just show everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even have the data after the project will finish because you will just send it back to the company and then they will use it. Then we were thinking what we can do to showcase this. And then it goes hand by hand with the situation about composability. This digital twin, this digital twin, composable digital twin services thing, and the capability table, right? Which is a very powerful resource from Digital Twin Consortium. So what we did was to try to find an asset that will be able to, that we can utilize to showcase what we were doing, and that is a microfactory. So a microfactory is actually an asset that you can buy. It's a German company that does it, but what we did was to start building services on top of the microfactory. Like, for instance, connectivity is an S7 PLC, very typical PLC in the market.
Yeah.
You will find it everywhere. So the connectivity to that PLC, Step 7 protocol or OPC UA or whatever you want to do with it. Every time, if you will do a project, you will start doing it again, again, and again, even if you copy and paste the code. Why not to have it as a service? So that actually moved us into a very interesting topic because then we started building services. And those services can be reutilized, and those services can be tested in the microfactory. The microfactory can be brought into our customers so we can showcase, okay, this is what is going to happen. And it's very good as a marketing platform, but also as a technological platform. And that is the microfactory that we have. And then we started doing this in Chile. Now we have 2 in the US, 1 in Barcelona, and we think in about a couple of months, we were going to have another one in Brazil.
So microfactory is just that. It's a small factory representation that you get to showcase the power of the innovation, the technology, without.
But it use industrial
without
protocols.
Sharing the confidential stuff.
Yeah, it's a little toy that use industrial protocols, connectivity, sensors, etc. So it's a replica of a real fabric. Are you
going to be in Vegas?
Yes.
Are you going to be showcasing this little microfactory?
We hope we can bring it, and if the one in the States is already commissioned, that's one of the ideas that we are discussing with DTC to bring it there. So far, we have brought in the microfactory to a couple of places, Brazil and Peru. And this is very interesting because when we wanted to bring the microfactory to Peru, and it's not a very big thing. I mean, it fits in a suitcase, right? It's 20 plus kilograms, but it was going to be very difficult to ship it to Peru because of the price tag, because of the insurances, because of many things.
Sure.
So that made us think, why not do remote monitoring? And then we prepare a remote monitoring asset for that. So our service is to do remote monitoring. So that means the real microfactory will be in Chile, and you will put on your VR glasses, and then you will navigate and operate the manufacturing facility that is in Chile. And then for that, you will just have a Sentinel camera, and then you can showcase exactly that the factory is doing what you want to. So it allows us to create this capacity that is actually a capacity that you will find as a need in a manufacturing company to some extent. So in a way, the microfactories are helping us to develop new technology, but at the same time to test it. Like, I'll give you an example. We have, in the microfactory, we have a conveyor belt, right?
Yeah.
That conveyor belt is a very typical element that you will find in many industries, FMCG, manufacturing, and mining.
Yep.
So a mining company came to us and said, can you do, we want to do predictive analytics to see where this will fail.
Right.
So the project that we are going to do with them is to sensorize with real sensors that are on the market, the same sensors that they are going to use, this small asset. So at the end of the day, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. Only the size and the material will change, but it will help us understand what needs to be done, how the data is going to be flowing. If we need a hybrid, cloud, or edge solution, which one should be? What is the machine learning that we need to put into a picture? So it is helping us, because all these things are going to be services, after all, that you can reuse for other things. So,
one of the things that I always speak about here at OMG, all of this is great information. These standards, this work, this body of knowledge that is being produced here at OMG is phenomenal. I'm going to be a little bit more pragmatic about it, and I want to see it in action. I want to say, here's the standard, then you can at least look at it from your perspective. That's what I want to see. And that to me removes the mystery of it, because now I can see it. Is that the way?
Yes.
And in another point of view, the microfactory it's a great begin for create new talent for us. So
see, there it is.
It's really important for a consultancy company like ours to create new talent without having to stay in a real factory, for example. So it's great for us. We define new path to create more capacities in digital twins, to understand the business, which solution can we afford. So it's great. It's great.
Microfactory, create a digital twin of the microfactory, being able to put the sensors that are on there. If I want to manage the assets and get some sort of predictive capabilities on those, I can just play around and do that and demonstrate that capability and the value.
Yeah.
See, now that's good. Yeah. That's taking what's going on here and putting it in real life.
And also supply chain, because there imagine if you have a couple of microfactories here in the US and then another one in Barcelona, you can actually simulate all sorts of problems that will come with supply chain, because then you will need to think about this. Warehouse situations, all these things are needs in the industry that can be solved through digital twins. Then for that, and let's just think about it, the base is the capabilities table. So one of the things that we did was to create an application for the capabilities periodic table, because right now it's an Excel file, right?
Yeah.
It does the job, but then you have to manually add things. So what we did as part of the project of the microfactory was to create an application in React that will be spinning a server, or you can just call it in whatever application you have. It's a web application, and then you can create that table, but that is going to be more dynamic, easily manageable for the people, easily, like you can work easily with it, right? And that was part of the microfactory project. And think about this, we did all this within 2 months of work.
Can you, and that's very cool, can you take, let's say, the multiple microfactories and optimize the operations and sort of bring them all together? If I'm a company and I have multiple factories, I can bring them all together and optimize my portfolio.
That's our next idea.
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You just spoil it.
Because that's where I would be going. I would be going right down that. It's like, okay, I have that factory, I have that factory, I have that factory, and I want to optimize it and sort of roll in that supply chain and all of the dynamics of the marketplace and see how I can optimize it.
Different lines of productions and different factories. That's one of the next ideas.
I like that. You guys are cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys, I like exactly what you guys are doing. How does somebody get a hold of you, Claudio? How does if somebody says I want to talk to you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
People can visit cl.entittydata.com.
Too hard. Are you out on LinkedIn?
Yeah, Claudio Soarzo.
Let me have your business card. Do you have a business card?
Okay, after that.
So it's LinkedIn. don't go down the other route, man, because nobody will want to do that. They just want to click and see your face.
Okay.
And you're at LinkedIn.
Same. Yes. I'm LinkedIn. Very active.
He's more famous than I.
He is famous.
Yeah.
He is. He's Carlos.
Yeah.
Famous Carlos. That's what they call it. You go online, type in famous Carlos in the Google.
My face appears.
It's just like that. Boom, there he is. There he is. Famous Carlos.
Yes, yeah.
You guys are absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, listeners, we're going to have all the contact information, as you know, out on Industrial Talk of these two gents. Reach out, find out more. They're doing some remarkable things at NTT Data. That's exactly right. All right, we are broadcasting from OMG. Go out to omg.org. You get to connect with these individuals too. It's people just like them and solving problems. Go out there to omg.org. Make that up happening. So we're going to wrap it up on the SI. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
In one word, data. Analytics. That's 2 words. Data analytics. There you go. Went back to 1 word, I think. Yes. Anyway, those two. There's gold in data. You need to do it. You need to find out that gold. You need to be able to mine it. You need to be able to have those insights into data that help you be a more effective company, a more resilient company, a company that is successful. Data is where it's at, and I based off of the conversation, I think we're just scratching the surface, which we are. There's a lot more that can come from this. Reach out to Claudio. Reach out to Carlos. 2 are absolutely wonderful professionals. Would love to have that conversation. We're building a platform, Industrial Talk. You have a podcast, put it out on Industrial Talk. You want people to hear you, put it out on Industrial Talk. You have technology, put it out on Industrial Talk. Be bold, be brave, dare greatly. Hang out with Claudio, hang out with Carlos, change the world. We're going to have another great conversation shortly. So stay